Good morning, everyone. This is Kirsten Zadel from SK Ghosh Associates, and I'd like to welcome all of you to today's web seminar on changes in the California amendments to the 2015 IBC. We're going to cover the changes from the 2013 CBC that are now included in the 2016 CBC, which went into effect on January 1st. Please note that the original or the title of the presentation that's printed in the PDF that you have, the first slide, it was worded a little bit differently, and we have since changed that. The intent is to cover the changes in the California amendments and not all of the California amendments. So we have revised the title here in this slideshow, and then also we have re-uploaded the revised PDF if in case you're interested in having the correct title. So today, Dr. Ghosh and I will be presenting on this topic. I'm going to cover chapters 16, 17, and 18. Then Dr. Ghosh will join us for chapters 19 and 21. And then I'll come back and wrap up with chapters 22 and 23. Before we begin, though, I'd like to mention a few brief things for those of you who may not have attended one of our web seminars in the past. Given that this is a shorter seminar, we will divide it into 2 segments instead of our typical 3 segments. The first segment will consist of about 30 minutes of presentation, followed by a 5-minute break and a 10-minute Q&A session if needed. The second segment will include about 35 minutes of presentation and will be followed by a final 10-minute Q&A session. You can type your questions at any time in the Q&A box to the right of the slide, and the questions will be addressed by the speakers during the next question and answer session. As the speaker answers a question, the text of the submitted question will be added to the notes box above the Q&A area so that all participants can see the question being answered. Finally, each of you should have received the PDF handout of the seminar material that Dr. Ghosh and I are going to show during this presentation. Many find that having a printed or electronic copy facilitates note-taking during the seminar. This seminar is intended to build on yesterday's seminar regarding the changes to the 2015 IBC, and also the changes that have occurred in ACI 318. While not required, it is certainly helpful in understanding this presentation to have an understanding of those changes. So let's get started. We have a lot to cover. So let's start with where we were. The 2013 California Building Code was based off of the 2012 International Building Code, the Model Code. For the 2016 California Building Code, they have adopted the 2015 International Building Code Model Code and have made some adjustments or amendments, and that's what we're going to cover today. So start real briefly for kind of how to look at the California Building Code and know what the changes or what is different and what they all mean. So to start with, in the beginning of each of the volumes, they have these marginal markings indicators. So if you're looking through the code section and you see a double line, let me get that pointer here. Oh, I forget how to, there we go. Okay, so you'll see the double line here indicates that a change has been made to a California amendment. When there's this symbol, then it indicates that a deletion has been made to the California amendment. The single line is an indication that a change has been made to the International Building Code language, and the solid arrow means that a deletion was made to the International Code language. And then there's a couple of other symbols. If you run across them, it's probably easier to look at that than try to remember. So the building code, it basically takes the model code language, so the code language from the International Building Code, and then in italics, it will show any sort of modifications. So you can see here, it's highlighted in yellow, that this is the California amendment shown in italics. In addition, if there is any state-specific amendments, it'll be in brackets. So whatever follows the bracket, so this part, section 30402A, et cetera, that is only applicable to OSHPD 1 and 4 projects. So what do the state acronyms mean? For us structurally, the primary state acronyms that we deal with is DSA and OSHPD. So let's go into those a little bit more carefully. There's 2 DSA regulations. There's structural safety, which covers basically everything, and then there's a community colleges part that covers just community colleges.